This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They're led out by their quarterback. Started his career as a Florida Gator, finished at Louisiana Tech. It's Jeff Driscoll.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Here we go.
The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. And now running right through it. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got to vote. I've got to vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one, though. Can he lock it down?
Week 17, the last act. We're not supposed to say who we're voting for, but I can say this. He's in the stadium right now. So there you go. There's my hint.
There's your hint right there. I'm going to wait until after this one is over. He's got to sway me with one more performance.
Sean Williams that time in on the stop. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield, and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Cincinnati. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Roethlisberger will hand a counter, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. No score just yet in this first quarter of action, but we have the offense in the red zone as they've got it here 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now Roethlisberger dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Andrew Billings getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, sings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Coming up here, this defense looking for a 3rd down stop in the 2nd quarter. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Coming up here, this defense looking for a 3rd down stop in the 2nd quarter. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Just over 90 seconds to go in the 1st half. The offense with a football, but they have it in their own territory. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are in a fight for the AFC North, a fight for their playoff lives. But if they find themselves playing in January, they might look back to that Week 15 win over New England as really the thing that got them over the top.
And remember, that stopped a 3-game losing streak. And when you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers fighting for their lives to go to the playoffs, they fought in that game against New England, got off the deck, and they came out swinging and played really, really well. So if they go down, qualify for the playoffs, win the AFC North, and if they're dangerous, that will be the game. I agree with you totally.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rodgers. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And he's caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Ben to throw again. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Nick Vigil coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And Boswell's kick is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll kick things off in the AFC North. 2 teams with intertwined histories, to say the least. Baltimore playing host to Cleveland. And it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. Lamar Jackson with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we take the short trip down to D.C. to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Chris Thompson with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And an update. Well, points have been hard to come by in this one, and it's the third quarter. Defenses have reigned supreme. Can the defense reign supreme once more on third down? Let's find out. On third down, Roethlisberger. And now another one thrown incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. All right, Big Ben's got the Steelers in the red zone as we get you back into the action. Connor. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
No hesitation in this situation. Down a couple scores late in the game. This offense is staying out there on fourth.
Let's go! 3-19!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it. Fourth quarter, and it's kind of getting to be desperation time here for this defensive side. They need to get the ball back to their offense. They have a chance to do that on third down. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me,
nothing to lose now. This offense forced to go for it. Down a bunch here in the fourth quarter.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landed.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Steelers, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.